Hello friends, this is Satvinder Bhatia from Sukhmani Immigration Services, Brampton, Canada. I'm a regulated and licensed Canadian immigration consultant. Today, I'll be talking about a very important topic which is impacting not just few, it is impacting thousands and thousands of people. That topic is work permit expiring soon and what are your options. So I will be talking about one of the options, its pros and cons in this video. But before that, very small request, if you are new to the channel and have not subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. We talk a lot about Canadian immigration news, update, tips, tricks on this channel. If you like the video, please share it with your family and friends so that they can also benefit. Please press the bell icon so this video comes to you immediately when we upload. Just remember one single thing, this channel is dedicated to Canadian immigration. Anything happening on Canadian immigration, you will get it here. So with that, let's move on to a very important topic, which is about work permit expiring soon. Thousands and thousands and thousands of work permits are going to expire very soon. And they don't have any kind of hope. There are number of pathways. There are number of options, but problem is who is there to guide them? Nobody. So these options I have presented in my previous videos also. I have taken down one of the options. So I will talk about all these options and one option in detail. So let's see what the options are. So the options for them are, you can move on to the study permit. You can move on to the LMIA based work permit. If your employer can provide you the LMIA, you can move on to employer based LMIA work permit, and this is a closed work permit. Then you have marriage. So if you marry to a PR card or citizen, Canadian citizen, you can get a spousal sponsorship and spousal open work permit. Then you have visitor record. Then you have an option of going back to the home country and refugee or asylum seekers. That is also an option. So this is the option we are going to talk in detail. I have got so many messages. Sir, please talk about refugee. Please talk about asylum. Please talk about refugee. On Instagram, on YouTube, on my WhatsApp, everywhere I got so many messages. So that is the reason I am making this video. So this video is only about the refugee and asylum, and there is another option which is of course support letter for PNP application. Bridging open work permit, I have already shared the entire detail with you. You can watch my BOWP video. So let's move on to the refugee or asylum option. Before I touch this option, let me show you the news article which came today in the leading Canadian newspaper. And this news article right in front of you, Globe and Mail, this news article clearly says international asylum claim jumped. There is a huge rise in the international asylum claims by students. If we look at the numbers, here are the numbers. But before that, let me tell you some important, very important points of this article. This article says there is a rising trend of international students applying asylum, and the increase is manifold. In 2018, only 2,230 students were applied for the asylum, whereas in 2023, 13,000 students have applied for asylum. And Mark Miller admitted on camera that this is an alarming trend and this is a misuse of the system. So that's about the main highlights of this article. Let us look at the numbers, the data, because those bloggers who are themselves, I always say, a blind leading a blind. They themselves don't have the status. How can they guide you? 50% of them were students and converted and most of them are either themselves currently students. How can a blind lead a blind? So let's talk about the data. They can't share those data on all these things with you. So here is the data. So if you look at the data, 2018, 2020, 2,230 people applied for asylum. These are international students. But if you look at the increase in 2023, the number increased to 13,000. There is so much jump in the numbers because initially people thought, oh, we will get PR to PR. Maybe our work permit will be extended. All this can happen, but it didn't happen. So when slowly and slowly, when people were able to open their eyes to the reality, when they open their eyes to the reality, they realize, well, this is not, nothing is available. When nothing is available, they jump to asylum. This is what happened. So 2023, 13,000 people, students, 13,000 international students, they have applied for asylum. Huge increase, huge. You can see the graph is in front of you. Huge increase is there in students applying for asylum. Why? Why are international students seeking asylum? Well, the first and the biggest problem is the financial burden. A student, an international student, pays almost four times the fee of a domestic student. If a domestic student for a same course pays 5,000, international student pays 20,000. So financial burden is the biggest challenge. So sometimes their parents gather the initial sum and then they send students to Canada. When students come to Canada, they are kind of on their own to gather their fee, to manage and make the fees happen. But the problem is, honestly speaking, Canadian economic situation is also not good. People are not getting more jobs, and when the jobs are not available, they are not able to, students are not able to manage their fees. Huge burden, a huge financial burden comes on them. The second bigger problem which is there is lack of PR pathway. Lack of PR pathway, why? Because express entry, and to be very honest, most of the students who are here in Canada have done grade 12. So they just came after doing +2 and they are here in Canada, and after that they have done diploma. So because of this, they don't have the graduation, they don't have post graduation, they are not able to make it into the express entry. So express entry is not available, and lot of PNP, leave aside OINP, rest you look at the entire Canada, BC, Saskatchewan, Alberta, Manitoba, Atlantic, anywhere you look at, PNPs are really in bad situation. So pathways are not available. There is no TR to PR. CEC score is very high. So these are the problems. There is no clear-cut PR pathway, and hence students are kind of inclined to asylum. Another problem is misguidance. This is a major misguidance. This program, refugee or asylum, is sold as an easy way of getting a PR. This is totally wrong, totally wrong. This is not a backdoor entry, but this has become a backdoor entry. It is an exploitation of the system. It is an exploitation of the system. And there are lots of agents, unauthorized, mostly unauthorized agents. So mostly unauthorized agents say, don't worry, just file asylum, you'll get it. This is what is happening. So these are the main reasons why international students are seeking asylum. when so many students are seeking asylum, there must be some benefits. Yes, my friend, there are benefits. Let's look at those benefits of filing a asylum. But before that, I have to tell you one main reason, which is change in circumstances, which is a very honest reason of filing asylum. Why international student? Change in circumstances, let me tell you like this. Somebody has come in from a country which is now exposed to war. For example, let's take a case of Israel. So let's take a case of Russia. Somebody who came to Canada from Russia, from Israel. When they came 3-4 years back, there was no war. Now there is war. And the chances are they could be mistreated if they go back. So change in circumstances can happen. Political, social, any kind of things. And these are very honest reasons why a people can file asylum. Change in circumstances. But there are other reasons also which I have already shared with you. Now, let's look at the benefits of filing a refugee claim. So, when you file asylum or refugee, a student, first of all, the first thing is student gets access to healthcare and lots of social benefits. Lots and lots of social benefits, they start coming on their way if you file the asylum. And immediately, suppose your work permit was getting expired, you can immediately get an open work permit, work authorization, you can legally work in this country. Of course, there is reduced financial burden. Why reduce financial burden? Because now if you are a student, you have to pay the domestic fee, not the international fee. So that is why your financial burden reduces. You will get grant, you will get social services, you will get benefits. And not just that, there was a sword which was hanging on your head, deportation. That deportation sword will temporarily go away. Temporarily. It will go away temporarily. And of course, if your refugee claim is successful, it is a PR pathway. You will get PR. So these are the reasons, these are the benefits because of which people go towards the asylum claim. When there are benefits, there are potential risks also. So let's look at the risks also. So the risk of students who are filing asylum, let's look at those risks. Number one risk is denial. So if you are denied the refugee claim, deportation and permanent entry ban also can happen. Deportation and entry ban. This is very, very common. Future immigration issues. So what is the meaning? Future immigration issues means tomorrow a program comes and you think you can qualify in that program, but you have already submitted refugee and so you cannot apply in any program. So you are kind of only attached to the refugee program. You cannot apply in other options. Your all other doors are closed. Travel limitation. This is another big problem. So you claimed asylum based on the fact that you cannot go back to India because somebody will kill you. And suppose you have to go back to India, travel to India in emergency situation, you cannot travel now. There is travel limitation. Potential detention. Of course, if the government finds that there was no basis on your claim has no basis or you have done misrepresentation, you can be detained. And also the fact exploitation. So exploitation can happen from anywhere to anywhere. Employers, co-workers, anybody can exploit. So that is also, you have a higher risk of exploitation. These are the risks. Now, you know the benefits, you know the risks, you know why people file asylum, you have seen the data, all the information is with you. one last word which I want to share with you is that before you think of filing our asylum, it's always better to discuss with someone who knows about it. So remember, only RCIC IRB can file the asylum case for you. Normal RCICs cannot file the asylum case for you. So before you jump onto this, please have a discussion with an authorized person. I am a RCIC IRB, somebody who is authorized, and I do get so many cases. So many cases I refuse to take. Why? Because I know these are not genuine cases. If you have genuinity in your case, you can come to me. But if there is no genuinity, I will not take the case. So genuine claims are, as I told you, change in circumstances, or you have been exposed to inhuman conditions in the past and which can haunt you in the future. So we can take into look into that. I just say refugee is not the only pathway. If you are genuinely having challenges, that you can look into that. Otherwise, if there are so many other pathways, so many ways to get PR, all you need is a proper consultation, proper knowledge of the facts. So if you need to discuss your case, more than welcome. You can book an appointment. Our office is located in Brampton. Address, email ID, phone number, everything is shared right here with you. And very important, very important, if you have still not subscribed to the channel, please do consider subscribing. And thank you very much for watching the video. Thanks.